It's ironic that the better you become at managing your business's cash flow, the less money you need to borrow from external sources, and the more appealing you become to financiers and investors. The first reaction of entrepreneurs when they need capital is to think about lending. In this video, I want to explain to you why that is exactly the wrong approach. In the previous installments of this series, I explained how important it is to have clear financial goals based on a strategy of creating value for customers, suppliers, service providers, and your shareholders. Your strategy must be internally consistent and mutually supportive, aligning the priorities of all the stakeholders in your business. To develop an effective funding strategy, you must fully grasp and effectively communicate the complexity of your business's unique trade cycle. The best way of accomplishing this is by way of the business model canvas. Done right, the business model canvas gives an external funder a snapshot view of your business in all of its complexity on a single page. So if you have not yet watched the previous installments to this series, you may want to visit Constructum Online Learning on YouTube. A link will be included in this post. Now we consider what sources of funding are available to your business presently and what sources of funding is most appropriate for your current need. Common sources of funding include founders' capital, retained earnings, debt finance, trade finance, supplier credit, and second-round investor capital. Not all these sources are available to your business presently. Businesses commonly develop in stages. A startup almost always depends on founders' capital. With no financial track record and little to no retained earnings, a startup is unlikely to secure any form of debt or trade finance. An established business may choose to use retained earnings as its main source of funding, a strategy of organic growth. Having established something approaching a track record of generating cash over even as little a term as 6 months, the business may be able to persuade financiers to provide certain types of unsecured loans. A business that has the right people in place with the requisite skills and having perfected its processes and policies may be able to craft a viable strategy of expansive growth based on a solid track record of driving sales, managing cash flow, and generating profits. Such a business has many more funding options available to it, including debt and trade finance, and may even attract the attention of investors. In the next installments of this series, I will consider each of these sources of funding in greater detail.